I would say a 4 to 5 step process. It doesn't necessarily mean that you would go through all the steps, but if people, first time homeowners, ultimately sometimes they feel like they may have a little intimidation just because they're not sure if right where I am, if I'm ready to purchase. So I think the first step is just to speak to a loan officer, because you never know. You may be surprised you already could have the credit scores that's needed to qualify. You could already have enough money saved up, and if you're trying to do it based on like your earnings or based on where you're already paying, say, your rent, then we can calculate, you know, the right amount of money that you can afford per month.
Right, but how do I find you? How do I even know that you exist? If I want to buy a home, how do I go to someone like you? Where do I start?
A lot of times it's the word of mouth. A lot of times people research. A lot of times people just type in loan officer and try to look in their local area, which is why I'm saying be open to receive one who may not be local, because it doesn't mean you won't get great service and even get the best offer on the market with your credit scores. So it's just a matter of Googling, because other than me doing stuff like this, like videos where I'm trying to get myself out there and I can just kind of be, I'm not saying the face of, but unless you're putting yourself out there, nobody really knows if you're a loan officer. You know, you have to market yourself.
Okay,
So it's kind of hard to find us unless you're looking for us.
particularly
Unless I'm doing an ad.
sorry.
I said, unless I'm doing like a marketing ad and then you happen to see me, I don't know how else you'll find me.
Right. I mean, but that's typically, but when it comes to someone buying a home, do I just ask for a referral? Do I ask friends that I know they use when they bought their home? And then how risky is it to just Google and find a loan officer? Because I would figure, you know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, okay. So
I mean, okay, so I can say that all loan officers are not the same, okay? That's in any business. And some may have their own agenda or intent for being one. So with that said, you're right. You are kind of gambling, and this is like the biggest purchase you're going to make. This is like the biggest decision you're going to make. This is like, could be stressful for some people, you know? So you do want to find a good one. I wish there was a portal or a place where, you know, you can kind of screen us. I mean, other than we're licensed and we're vetted, like highly background check, but I'm just saying that doesn't mean that stuff don't happen along the way. So I would honestly tell my own family and friends, if I wasn't a loan officer, to just get a referral. That's the best way, because personal experience is better sometimes than the gamble. And then most of the times you may luck up and get it. Most loan officers are out there to help you. But I feel like in this climate, it could be some bad seeds that could be out there. So you do want to make sure you're comfortable with your loan officer.
okay, so I find my loan officer and I'm like, hi, my name is Anisha Gill. I'm interested in purchasing a house. What steps do I need to take? What's the first thing that I need to do? How do we get the ball rolling?
Okay, so honestly, I always like to tell people, you know, you don't feel like if you get a good vibe with the loan officer, then go with them, by all means. If you're not too sure, if you question anything, you have the right to shop around. You have the right to get a second and a third quote. So my home buying program will help you from the beginning stages to the credit process all the way to the end of the purchasing process and actually getting your keys, right? So no matter where you are with your credit, you can always improve it. But if you come through my home buying program, which is called Credit to Keys Home Buying, I will get you free credit repair. So that everybody's credit profile is different. So that means that, let's say your profile, you don't really have that much credit because maybe you use cash more often than others. But there are some things that you could do that could boost your credit score and give you a nice little boost promptly, and not the longer time frame that people usually experience when they're getting their credit repaired. So because this program is designed to get you ready to purchase your home, that means that they're making steps that are much faster than the average normal procedure, right? So normal credit companies may take you 6, 9 months to a year, maybe even longer, to get your credit repair. This process is much faster. Depending on what you need, but within 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 2.5 months, 3 months. I mean, it can move very quickly. And after your credit has been boosted, the second step is if you need any money for down payment or additional money, we'll see about helping you obtain a down payment assistance program. And that could be either a loan or a grant, or you can get some type of line of credit or some type of perhaps credit card where you could get a cash advance, and that could be going also towards your down payment. You have to let that money season, of course, but you know, it's steps to doing that. What were you going to say? So we're just on step 2. So if you don't need credit repair, then that's perfectly fine. Then I just take you through my normal process. Not my home buying program isn't for everyone.
If I have great credit, I mean, if I don't have good credit, I'm talking about credit is key. And then if I do have good credit and that's not an issue, then what does that buyer?
So if that particular buyer who doesn't want to be part of the program where they get the free credit repair when they use one of our realtors within our realtor network, and then if they don't want to do that and they're just a regular client whose credit is perfectly fine, then if they're already ready also with their down payment, then I just pre-qualify them. I just get all their income documentation.
What's ideal? So if someone has a 650, like what's the loan approval window?
I honestly would say anybody that sits around a 680 FICO, you're pretty much safe to qualify for pretty much all loan programs across the board. If you sit around a 680, that's the ideal FICO score. There are programs that sit around 640. There are some, of course, for 580, and even between 500 to a 579 for FHA. But even those guidelines are a little stricter now for the FHA program. But honestly, if you sit around 680, that's your goal. Anything higher is just only going to give you a better interest rate, which is what most people kind of like move and make decisions based on.
So that's for people who have no credit.
Right.
Now I'm coming to you. I want to buy a house, and my credit is not the best, but I have the money for it.
Right.
Steps now. What do I do? Like how can you help me get into keys to or
Credit to keys. Yeah.
What do you need from me? My FICO score is a 620.
Okay. So yes, you're right, because you're at a 620. So even to qualify for an FHA loan right now in this market today, COVID market, you need to be at least at a 640 FICO. So because you're sitting right at a 620, you need a little boost. Well, you go through my home buying program, which is called Credit to Keys Home Buying. I'll send you to the big score. So that's the name of the credit repair company that will fix you up, get you right where you need to be pre-qualified, making sure your DTI, your debt to income ratio is where it needs to be pre-qualified, right? You let him know if you need help, a little more money. You don't need help, cool, you just needed the credit boost. He gets you boosted up. To get the free credit repair, I do have to keep emphasizing you have to use one of our realtors. That's the important part. To get the free credit repair, no matter what that entails, you have to use our realtor. But why would you not? Like, we just got you boosted in your FICO scores, you're in the high 700s, 800s in a shorter period of time than most, credit repair companies. Not only that, we helped you, and we're going to give you another great experience with our realtors, so then you didn't have to go search and hope and pray that you Google and find the right realtor, because you're also gambling if you don't get a referral. If you don't know anyone in your family or friend, then you got to kind of like do your search and your research on these people. And again,
So I get a loan originator, I get a credit repair, and I get an agent.
and then you get, before you get the agent, after your credit has been repaired, then I'm going to take back over, pre-qualify you, get your pre-qualification letter and approval if they need that part as well. So now they have the actual letter that I'll give to them and to their agent, and then now the agent will then take them out. So send them options, and whichever ones they're interested in, however they choose to move to go actually see the property. And it doesn't matter what state you're in, my home buying, Credit to Keys Home Buying program will be able to assist you in all the states that I'm able to originate the loans. So we're almost nationwide, but I'm not quite nationwide yet.
Okay, so what's the process, the time window from when I meet you, typically till when the person finds a house and everything's done? Well, how many weeks is that, like a monthly thing? Is it something that can be done as short as 6 weeks?
Okay, so that's a couple of components. So if we're talking about two different type of homeowners that will come to me, either one that's ready to buy now, or one that may need a little more time because they need to repair the credit, or they need to go find that money, and then even to get a down payment assistance program, grant, or loan, it only takes 30 days to do that. So that put that idea in your mind. 30 days to do that. Credit repair could be as quick as 2 months, 3 months, just depending on what's going on, but it's going to be very fast. And then how long would it take you to find your house? I don't know how picky you are. You know what I'm saying? You have to give yourself an idea, like, are you going to base it on, okay, I want to see 15 homes, 10 homes, or I don't know how they're processed and how long that takes. So all of that has to be accounted for. But on my end, that's the difference between the two buyers, but then the two different processes, meaning like the two different loan types. If you have an FHA loan or a conventional loan, so FHA is a government loan, you know, they're very thorough, and you're giving me full documentation. They're very thorough with the vetting process and all that. That could take 30 days, as quick as 30 days, you know. Depends on, see, people have to realize we're working together to get your home. And I want this to be a very good experience. Like, you learn a lot. You will say that was the best experience. I walked away, and I definitely would refer her, not just because I learned so much and I had such a great experience, just because it was seamless, right? But at the end of the day, our goal is to work together. Just because I may ask you for documents that you have to provide, or you have to be there when the inspector comes by or the appraiser comes by. So it requires effort, and just as fast as the home buyer, moves along and works with me, that's how fast we can get stuff done. Now you have those loans that could take 30 days, maybe 45 days to close, but then you have non-QM loans. These are qualified mortgage loans, and these over here that are non-qualified mortgage loans, I can close those loans in 3 weeks. 21 days I can be closed. So it just depends on what type of loan you're doing and what all you're doing. What type, what are you doing? How long is it taking for you to get ready to purchase and have your house, to actually open up escrow on the house that you want to buy?
Okay, so for your program, how much down should someone have to put down? Like, say I want to get a house. Say I live in Atlanta. I want a $300,000 house.
Right.
If I created like a 640, how much am I putting down?
So you want me to whip out my system? No, I won't whip my system out, because listen now, I can do some numbers in my head, but we kind of get used to the system calculating it too. No. So the down payments all differ based on your loan. Every loan could require different down payments based on whatever that type of program is. So you have the lowest down payment loan is 3.5%. I actually saw, I need to learn more. There's another one that I saw that was an FHA $100 down. And so that one I saw in my system, so I'm going to go study up on that, because I like to know all of my different loan options. The more I know, the more I can give you guys to choose from, right? And what best fits you sometimes, just based on each person's lending needs, right? So 3.5%, I would say would be the lowest down payment, but that would be a full documentation loan, right? So if anybody don't have all the documentation, then that's where you can expect the bank to ask for more down. The less you give the bank, the more they're going to require from you. So that's the mentality you have to think. So if I got a loan program that I was talking to Billy Carson about the other day, we did an interview. I have a debt services coverage ratio loan product, and that's where the actual property will qualify itself for the loan. So that means I don't ask you, the borrower, for any documentation income wise. The property will qualify itself. So then how much you think you're going to have to put down on a property like that? You know, like that's going to be about 40%, 45% down. We didn't ask you for anything. So then you have loan products like bank statement programs. Okay, if you're not full documentation, then okay. Like right now, the COVID market is making down payments a little larger than what they typically are. So even my non-QM bank statement loan, asset depletion loan, debt service coverage ratio loan, those are considered jumbo loans, bank statement loans. All of those are non-QM loans. Those can be closed faster than the agency loans, right? So with these loans, they're going to ask for a little more, but the down payment is a little more because of COVID. So I would say between 20%, 25%, 30% is the average down payment for those types of loans. And then you have on the other side, a conventional loan could be as low as 5% down if you don't want to do an FHA loan at 3.5% down. So it's just so many options. Some of these answers cannot be short and sweet because I try to give y'all as much, but then I'm like, I don't want to confuse you, but I want to give y'all enough. Yeah.
So what about for people who are veterans, right? Like there's a lot of young people who are retired from the Army, you know, they now want to be settled somewhere. What programs do you offer for, you know, vets?
So in our business, we have hit the jackpot when we get a vet. Just know, vets, we're looking for you guys. I love working with the vets, especially, you know, sometimes, you know, hearing their background and stuff like that. They'll tell you sometimes they don't. But you get 100% financing if you are a vet, right? A veteran. If you've served this country, you don't have to put down payment and closing costs. All of that is rolled into the loan. So that's the blessing. And they get pretty much the lowest interest rate on the market, you know, hands down. So I love it. I love it when they want to take advantage, but not all of them know that they have the benefits to do the VA loan.
They're not always educated on buying a house.
I have a couple of clients that have loans that's like paid off, or they want a second home and they've been a vet for like 20 years, 10 years, and they never use their benefits. So it's there for them. And if they have any related service disability that is 10% or greater, and then if they're in the vet, they know what I'm talking about, that's 10% or greater, then the VA funding fee, the VA funding fee, that is a fee to them that they have to pay up front. That's a nice little chunk because it's a percentage of the loan. That fee is waived if they have a 10% or greater disability. So yeah, absolutely. VA loans are beautiful loans because it's there to help them, and they roll everything into the loan. No.
People that are 35, 32, retired from the Army that want to purchase homes.
Right.
How common is it? So if I live in California, or let's just say I live in Tennessee, you live in California, I want to find a house. Do you have realtors in every state with the credit to keys? Or
That's what I just said. Right. That's what I just said. So it doesn't matter where I am. I'm located in Southern Orange County in California, but I can originate my loans in the 43 states that my lender is in. So I'm gonna read off these states that I'm not in: Massachusetts, Hawaii, Nevada, New York, Ohio, Missouri, and Utah. So those states I'm not in right now, but Hawaii, Nevada, Ohio, Missouri, and Utah, I'm gonna be in really soon. My lender is coming into that market. Outside of that,
real estate agents, do you have them in
same thing. They're in every state. So wherever I am, we have agents there. But of course, they don't have to worry about that. That's why the program is meant for them to walk through it smoothly, and they don't have to go searching and looking. Everything is set up for them. So we'll have an agent no matter what state they're in. And then if they don't like that agent, we'll give them another one. But there's no reason why. Like, these agents are professional. They're used to these types of home buying programs too. Like, I'm not the first person to create a home buying program. But so these agents are definitely ready to help these clients get their home. And most of the time, these are first-time home buyers too. Yeah.
So what's the next question you want me to ask? I know you count.
Whatever. I don't know. Shoot, have at it.
So we discussed how long the process would take. We discussed what types of loans. Did you thoroughly discuss the credit keys or no? You did.
Yeah, because that's pretty much the gist of it. You're just gonna get your credit fixed. It's fixed. You need money, Okay, cool. You do? Okay, we'll help you. Go to our realtor, but you get the free credit repair because you went through the home buying program. And even if a person feel like they okay, again, some people are so interest rate driven. Even if they say sitting at a 700 FICO score, in their mind, they may want that credit boost. Just because you're already at a 700, 710, they may want to know, well, what can I do to get in the 800s? Because to them, most people in the 7s want to be in the 8s. When you're in the 6, you want to be in the 7s. So we're always chasing this highest number that you could possibly get for credit so that you can get the best interest rate. So sometimes it's not about I have bad credit and I want to go through your home buying program. It could just be, well, if I'm going to get a realtor that I don't have to go hunt for, and you saying that you can take me from a 700 to an 800, possibly boost me up even higher to get the lowest possible interest rate, to them it's worth it. And you telling me it's going to be in a time frame of this. And I want to say something that's really important. Simultaneously, while you start my home buying process, that beginning process is the credit repair. You're not just sitting around and waiting for another month to happen. No, while you're getting your credit repair, I am already going to qualify you based on what you're earning. It's not about where your score is, right? Because your score is what's going to determine your interest rate for your loan, right? We're not at the loan process right now because you're getting your credit repaired. And I can know how much you can afford based on the information you gave me, right? So I'm going to know your monthly. So I'm going to give you your pre-approval letter now. I won't be able to give you your pre-approval, I can give you your pre-qualification letter now at this point, so you can at least start to shop and start to look for homes while your credit is being repaired. So that will expedite the process, right?
You're not just sitting still.
Right, you're never going to be sitting still in this process, which is why I say you have to work with me, right? So then once you're looking for the home, and once you have your credit where it needs to be, if you needed a little more money, then I have to then take that extra money you got to then qualify you based on your cash asset that would then be able to pre-approve you. So people have to understand there is a difference between pre-qualification and pre-approval. Sometimes realtors or sellers want to see that pre-approval letter because it's stronger than the pre-qual. Because, like, again, I can give you a pre-qualifications, but it's still kind of contingent upon, you getting some more of your savings or whatever. Because that has to be plugged in my system in order for me to run it through my system, my underwriting system, in order to get the approval. So people have to understand that part too. But while you're getting your credit repaired, you're looking for your home. While you're looking for your home, and the moment your credit is where it needs to be, let's say a month, 6 weeks later or something like that, immediately if you need money for the down payment, that's a 30-day process. You're right into that program. So you're going to already have selected which one you feel is the best fit for you in the beginning, began that application process, So you're always going to be working to get into that home. Then so then once that part's done, I've already pre-qualified you, you already pre-approved, you were already looking for the home. So the process from start to finish, you asked me that earlier, could be pretty quickly. It just depends on each person. Yeah. So I think that one thing that I want to say, since we're already talking, right? And I know maybe this would be a different segment then, but I just want to encourage people in the states that we are in, right, with the country, the world, just everything is flipping. We now know power means ownership. Power means, not necessarily money, but where are you where you can make decisions, like when it comes to the systematic racism and systematic oppression and all this other stuff. Is the people that's in power that's keeping this system the way it is. Well, if we want wealth in our families, wealth within our own immediate families, we have to start owning. And the first thing that is the most acquirable, obtainable thing is a home. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can start a business, but maybe not everybody have a business mind or may have a business concept that can pop. We could probably all invent something that hasn't been invented because we all are creative, but we all can own a home. And I just feel like to get us into a different position, there's a sense of empowerment that come over you, I believe, from home ownership, and it does, I feel, take you to a higher level of that. I'm not saying adulthood or financialhood, but really kind of stepping up and understanding how this country works. That's all I'm saying. Not saying that you're less responsible if you're not, nothing like that. But what I'm saying is, when you understand it's ran off of credit, it's based on even your net worth. You know how you can research net worth? Okay, how much is this person worth? Part of their worth is based on their real estate. It's not all cash. But the reason why Oprah has a $45 million house here, $20 million house there, is because the more real estate you have, the more worth you are, right? So they use real estate not only for, maybe perhaps write-offs and stuff like that, but they're using it too for them to boost up their net worth and to get you, I feel, in that ownership mindset, in that position. And then you want to be more empowered. So now if I own a home in this community and there's some bush crap going on in this community, I'm going to probably want to have a voice now because I own a piece of this community, truly. Whereas if I really am not truly rooted or connected to the community, I may be passing through. I don't really feel that sense of community, I feel. So I think all of that plays a part, but then understanding money. Then you can borrow against because now you got a real estate portfolio. I've said before, it's just like the Monopoly game. Who say we can't really have hotels? We really can get, built up to that type of real estate portfolio and wealth. Every wealthy person has real estate. So I just want to finish on that. Keep that in mind. Everybody does.
We can finish with that before we finish off together. You need an intro video to let people know.
Right. And
You want to start? You want to do that?
Sure. Yeah.
Just tell them what you're going to be doing today, because it's the first thing you're going to post, so that they know what's to come and what you offer. And as you cut it, they know what's happening. You know what I mean?
Right, got it. Then I got to figure out how I'm going to put these long ass videos on some of these platforms where they won't allow me.
You'll just do some sound bites. Like you would do it, because we stopped a few times and had sides, so you would just chop it up and put 1 minute, a minute and 50 seconds on
Like little previews.
to your IGTV.
Okay, cool.
And don't do so many back to back, because you're not gonna have people that's really gonna watch them back to back. So do them like maybe once or twice a week. Don't flood your page with all the information at once. Just kind of
Little snippets.
Yeah, little snippets. So because people don't sit and watch it, you don't want them to get bored or lose interest and go.
Yeah.
50 seconds at the very least. But whatever is the most.
Well, that really works for me because, I be trying to search for content, girl. I don't really be doing much. I'm like, I don't got nothing to post. All right, cool, so I can stretch it out.
Like, hey guys, Jackie, for those of you who don't know, I'm a working home originator. I'm going to start posting reviews on my page. I want to educate you, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's going to be the first thing you're going to post. And try and do it in a minute and 50 seconds. Well, look, it's 4:44.
Woo! So 444, 1111, 777. Those are the numbers, the universal numbers. Okay, yes. So hello, this is Jackie Braden. I am your mortgage loan officer. I am going to start, I promise, being a little more interactive with you all. I want to start answering questions that people may have, anything about home buying. I believe, honestly, it is our birthright, and I feel that we all should own land. And because of that, I also feel that almost all of you out there could qualify for a loan. Even if you just want to own a one-bedroom condo somewhere, or if you're ready to purchase, if you can pay rent, you can pay a mortgage. So definitely go to my website, JackieElam.com, JackieElam.com. That's where you can see all of my different links. You can also purchase my book there. So I do still plug that because I still have books to sell, man. Cover your child in the entertainment industry. Also, my jewelry collection, my Shopify. I gotta plug it all just because I don't know how I'm gonna end up doing it anyway.
You have to know the
going to Jackie.Elam anyway. So just go to Jackie.Elam and you can even reach out to my IG, which is also Jackie Elam. Jackie.Elam on IG, right? I have a period in the middle. Yes, I do. All right. And so, I think that's it. So I think I've said where they could on my website and the IG, and that's good. But I'm gonna start coming back on because I want to answer questions if people feel like, you know, I know people will send me some DMs oftentimes, and that's fine. But you know, perhaps if that person have a question, other people have the same question, so I don't mind answering. But okay, I'm at the shell, so I'm ready to start doing it. I think.
They ain't no on air tomorrow. Don't put up tonight because viewership is low on the weekend. But tomorrow, when you get up, post it.
All right, cool. And then I'll do the little snippets. That's the important part. Hold on one second. Let me turn off the light. So let me just see. I don't know.